Hey, meet the place. My name is Christian Ostmo, and I am a web developer. I currently call London home, but I kind of grew up in the tech world of Silicon Valley, San Francisco, and West Coast of America more generally. The United States more generally. I'm something that you might call, I'm what you might call a conversion rate optimization specialist. And what that means is that I build websites that convert better. Now, that could be subscribers, could be sellers, viewers, or could be digital downloads. Just depends on exactly what you want. But the idea here is I create websites that compel people to take some action that the owner of the website wants. The reason that I am on an iPhone right now and not on a computer, as most of these videos are, is because in countries like the United States, developed countries, what's happened over the last decade or so is that smartphones, more generally, not just iPhones, smartphones more generally have taken over. They're basically 75% of all internet traffic in the United States is smartphone based. In Asian countries like Indonesia, that number's up to 91%. And I see you're writing Spanish. I'm not sure exactly where you're located, but I would imagine that there's some similar number in whatever country you are. It might not be as high as 91%, but it's probably the majority. And so what your website looks like on mobile is vitally important. More important than really anything else, even more important than what it looks like on a desktop. And so if you're not optimized for mobile, you're definitely losing traffic. You're losing customers, potential customers, or subscribers. I haven't looked at your website yet, so I don't know if you're selling anything, but if you are, you're losing sales. I can tell that you're a blog, so you probably have a subscription button, you're losing subscribers. And I can tell you that point blank, definitely. What you need to do is optimize for mobile, and that's going to mean loading things faster. It's going to mean making the text bigger, more bold, and it's going to mean designing modules on your website for mobile specifically. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing that I always do when I go to a new website is I test the speed. And that means I go to a little website called tools.pingdom, and I test the speed. Now, I'm going to go ahead and check where you are. So this you should test from the closest server to wherever your readers are. Most of my visitors are in Europe, and so I test in Stockholm, Sweden. But I'm going to go ahead and check. Let's see. Oops, sorry. I'm younger from Puerto Rico. Okay, so you're from Puerto Rico. I think the closest one is San Jose, California, and I know we're limited to 4 here. So, but you're probably as close to San Jose, California as I am to Stockholm, Sweden. So we'll just go ahead and test that. So this is going to be, I don't know exactly where your readers are. They could be all over the world, but this is going to give you the best idea of what your customers see. And so you see right there, load time. That's 2.13 seconds. Your page size, 2.6 megabytes. Request 42. Tester from San Jose. So load time, 2.13 seconds isn't that bad, but it can be a lot better. And so what happens is as soon as you hit 3 seconds, you've already lost about 40% of your traffic before your site has even loaded. And that is a huge problem for a lot of people. You should definitely not be going over for 3 seconds, but over 2 seconds is still above Google's threshold of 2 seconds. And as soon as you hit 2 seconds, as soon as you've gone over Google's threshold, what's going to happen is you're not going to be indexed with the same kind of strength and authority by Google. Google's going to say, oh, this website is not worth as much as a site that maybe loads under 2 seconds, and so we're going to go ahead and rank it down. So you're already off to a bad start with the speed. If it was like an online store with a lot of complicated things going back and forth, like just getting it barely below 2 seconds would probably be okay. But because it's a static blog and nothing particularly special about what's going on in the background, you want to get it well below 2 seconds. And most of my websites load in under 1 second, even though they are a bit more complicated. And the key to that is going to be this page size right here. You see it's 2.6 megabytes. Now 2.6 megabytes is not the worst page size, but you can tell that it's mostly from images. And so the key here is going to be to making that smaller. You want fewer images on your site, and you want the images that you do have to be smaller, and that's going to be part of making a better design as well. You really only need one image, and if you go back to your website, I can see that you've repeated the same background image 1, 2, 3 times, whatever it is, I don't know. That's really not what you want to do. The correct way to go about this, sorry, I'm on a busy road. The correct way to go about this is to create like a textured background, or a single color, or something along those lines. You really don't want something, this is a nice picture and everything, but it's not for your background. Or what you could do is you could make it so that you have one image with you do have a transparent, you can see right here, you have a transparent background underneath the content. What you could do is make the whole thing partially, one image in the background, one overlay that's partially transparent, like you have here, that stretches all the way to the side, to either edge, side to side. Don't forget this color, this aqua color on the left over here. And then what you do is you make the image move with the page, with the content, and that way what happens is you don't have to worry about repeating this image, because it's just kind of arbitrary. It makes it look really sloppy is the main thing. It makes it look very old. People did that 10 years ago, And I don't know how old your blog is. It's probably not 10 years old, but it is. It definitely looks older than it should. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's going to really help your website design, how it loads and everything. So anyway, got it. The next thing is you have a lot of content right away. Now I'm going to show you the correct way to. This is like kind of I've shown you the technical aspect of it a little bit. I've gone into like the speed and the images and everything. Let me just go into really quick, your reasons for having a website that should be faster. One of them, the biggest one, is going to be the images. The next one is probably going to be your server. Now, I don't know what server you use. Oh, it looks like it's just Blogger. Okay, that makes sense. See, Blogger, I see the logo right there. That's why I say that. Blogger is great for just, blogging, right? Okay, it's okay. It's nothing special, but if you want to take this to, it's good for like reflecting your own views, your own kind of information, what you like to reflect on. So it's great for like a personal journal that also happens to be online. And if that's what you want your blog to be, then great. That's fantastic. But if you want to take it to the next level, you really need something faster. So your server speed is going to be very important. Your image size is going to be very important, and your structure, how Google sees your website and how clean it is in terms of how the user feels, is also going to be very, very important. So great. Next thing is like more the visual aspect of it. So there is a certain formula that I use for pretty much all of my websites, and the reason is human psychology. So if you go into like my company website, for example, right here, our clients focus on doing what they do because we handle the entire online experience. So basically what we have here is and I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot so I can show you. When anybody goes on a website, and actually when anybody looks at anything, because this is how we naturally program ourselves. And please, I just realized that I'm talking quite fast. If you need me to explain anything, like in text, or también hablo español, pero no es suficiente por eso. If you need me to explain anything, yo puedo explicar en español si quieres. But anyway, so let me continue. Naturally, as humans, we look at anything from left to right, this way, and then from top to bottom, this way. And this is what my data shows that people are looking at. This is where their mouse, this is where their cursor moves. It moves from left to right, and it moves from top to bottom. And so the idea here, you absolutely need to say this right here, why your website is important, what it is, and who you are, why your customers should matter. Our clients focus on doing what they do because we handle the entire online experience. So this right here is what we do. And this client right here is why you should care. right? And then from there, we have something called a call to action, which is basically saying, this is what I expect my visitor to do when they get to my website. I expect them to click on this. I expect them to click on this. And you know what? 90% of the people who visit my website click one of those buttons because I want them to. And so as soon as they click that button, then I've got something. I've got their foot in the door. Now, if I were to go to, let me go back here. Now, if I get them to click on this, it goes into obviously like a testimonial. And then if I go into free site analysis, it goes on here. This is basically what I'm doing right now for you, is find out where your site is leaking money for free. And this is when I get an email address. An email address is very important because if you can imagine, my hands are moving right now. I know you can't see me, but an email address is very important because that means that I've got somebody's foot in the door and I'm that much closer to making a sale. Now, I don't make a sale to everybody, but I make a sale to, I don't know, 40% of the people who contact me. And you know, like something like half of the people who visit my website contact me. And so the idea here is that I'm not going to sell to everybody, but I've collected the data and I've calculated my best chance is to do this, to use this formula. And it works, not every time, but it works most of the time. And so that's the basic formula here. So if you go back to your website, what you want to do, and I'll take another screenshot here, create something up here, not like welcome, meet the place. Hi guys, welcome to Meet the Place, a blog. This blog is managed by Natalia, blah, 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 and endless text. You'll see people will start reading that and they'll get bored immediately and hit the back button. What you need to do, write something compelling. Why am I here? Tell the person, this is the best blog for blah, blah, blah. We provide, not we provide, but here's where you can find the best food, the best recipes, the best dancing in Puerto Rico, right? Or something along those lines. And so that's the idea here. Write something really compelling right here. Why am I here? Why should I care? And then put a call to action, a button, an email collection. Say if you enter your email address here, you can download our guide to Puerto Rico or something like that. And so that is what's going to get you to collect email addresses, and that's what's going to get your readers more involved in what you're doing, what you're selling, what you're trying to get them to do. And so these are the possibilities. I don't know what kind of traffic you get. But this traffic can help you a lot. Sorry, that was a siren. I don't know what kind of traffic you get, but this strategy can help you turn your traffic, the traffic that you do get, into customers. And so that's the idea here. So if I go back, I'm going to go back here and I'm looking at cuando escucho hablar sobre amistad, todo algo importante. That's really cool. My Spanish isn't that good. I studied in Ecuador, but it was years ago. So I can't really say that like the content is good or bad, but what I can tell you is that you have to display this more creatively. You have to go back to, I don't know, if you go to one of my blogs here. Now, my blog is my personal reflection. I'm not looking to try to get traffic. So, but you can go back to my blog here, for example, and look. I mean, it's organized, it's color coded, it's in this kind of stuff. This is what gets people to click on it. And so, if you're looking to get someone to click on it, choose a compelling picture. You know, you don't have to use your own pictures like this one right here. This right here is a picture from a site called Pexels, and if I can share that with you, I don't have pictures for my own. I do use a lot of my own photography, but not for everything. This site right here, you're allowed to use these pictures for any reason, commercial or otherwise. So if you feel like just taking an image, you can click on it here. Say free for person. It says right here, CC0 license, free for personal use, personal and commercial use, no attribution required. So you can use these images for anything you want. And I would highly encourage that. They have some really great photography. Like all of these pictures are absolutely free. So if you are finding yourself short of your own photography, definitely pay this site a visit. Anyway, back to my point. Use more compelling images, better images, and and like use a title that really grabs attention, because that's going to get people turning the pages, clicking, and getting more and more subscribers. Okay, cool. So the next thing is, I don't know. I get you have ads. I don't know how much money you make on this, but probably not enough to justify it. The thing is that ads make a site look cheap. I don't know if this is part of blogger.com or if it's like your own thing, but I would highly suggest you get rid of all ads. It's just what you can do in the future if you want is you can build up your credibility, build up your traffic, build up your subscribers, and then use like product placement rather than just like these cheap ads. They pay you a lot better, and it's more worth it in the long run. So I was thinking maybe your blog is just like your personal reflection, but if you see ads like this, my gut tells me that you're trying to make some money at least. So I would definitely suggest doing that, building up your list and using product placement or content marketing or something along those lines. But yeah, cool. So I mean, that's basically it. I really hope that this video has been helpful and not too noisy, because like I said, I'm on a walk right now by the road, kind of. And so I hope that this video has been really helpful to you. By itself, you're welcome to use any of and all of my techniques, study my websites, even steal my content. I don't really care. If you want to take it to the next level, that's what I get paid to do. I redesign sites for conversions. I get people more subscribers. I host on faster and better servers. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Otherwise, cool. Have a good one.